As you guys know, every January the transfer window opens. And that means some fun times on FIFA 16 Ultimate Team. Players switch clubs in real life, so of course they need to get a different version of their item for their new club on the game, which is cool. Now every so often, EA do this whole batch of updates of transfers, release new items onto Ultimate Team, and I thought what I would do is pick out some of the more notable ones that you guys may have missed and probably should watch out for if you're opening any packs in the next few weeks. And the great bit about today's video is most of these players are lower rated golds and some silver players, so actually they're very cheap on the game, so they're sort of the overpowered players is what I've tried to pick out today. And we start things off with this guy. His name is Mauro Zarate, and you might know him from playing for West Ham. Well, his time is up there, and he's moved over to the Italian league to play for Fiorentina, and I thought because he's a bit of a gem on the game, you guys might want to know about that. There's plenty of players that you could link him up in the Serie A that could do a good job, you know, get a nice strong link to like Higuain and stuff like that. I think he's one to watch and one to pick up if you can get him cheap. He's a low rated gold, so just watch out on the market for him. I reckon you can get him for quite cheap. Now moving on, we have got ourselves Ryan Donk, and as you can see, I've actually picked one of these guys up. He has transferred to Galatasaray, which means all sorts of good options. He's now a perfect link, of course, to Wesley Schneider, which is a good option for him. He's a very awesome 84 physical on this silver card. That's awesome. 6'4", great option for CDM. Now moving on, we have got a left back who's moved from the La Liga to the Portuguese league. He's actually gone from Barcelona, and his name is Grimaldo. If you're looking for a pretty decent left back, silver, relatively decent pace, he's your man. Then we've got obviously quite a big transfer that's been talked about over the past week, and that is Sam Byron moving from Leeds to West Ham. He has now got that West Ham card on Ultimate Team, so if you want to pick him up for, of course, your BPL squad rather than your Championship squad, he will fit in there quite nicely. Next up today, we've got someone with, well, quite possibly one of the most fun names I've ever seen. Is it Guillaume Juillet? I don't know if that's any Belgians in the comments, let me know down below. Basically, we've got a Belgian moving into the French Ligue 1, and actually, he's got 70 plus stats all around. So for a silver, he's a really good option. Next up, of course, we have got the Belgian moving back to Manchester United. It is Adnan Januzaj. He has, of course, got a Dortmund card on Ultimate Team, but now you can, of course, pick him up in the BPL. Belgian, decent pace and dribbling, non-rare, perfect fit for your starter teams, I guess, your non-rare BPL squads. He would get a nice strong link to a non-rare Belgian Origi, who plays for Liverpool, another good option. Next up, another player coming into the Premier League from the Bundesliga. He's gone from Bayern to Sunderland. What a downgrade in clubs that is. Sorry, FUTWIZ Dan. We've got Jan Kirchhoff. Now, there was a possibility and a hope that this guy would get a position change to a centre-back, because I think that's pretty much where Sunderland are planning on playing him. I'm not 100% sure, but if he got that centre-back, that would have been awesome. But still, he's a rock-solid German CDM, and that means you can get like a silver to gold strong link from like Kirchhoff to Ozil or something like that. A pretty good player to pick up on the game. As you can see, I've managed to pick one up for myself for 3,500 coins. Not bad. He'll obviously come down as well. Next up, any fans of Italian strikers? Immobile has moved back from the Bundesliga to the Serie A, so you've got another strong link possibility if you're using your full Italian sides. We've then got this silver called Cueva, don't know how you pronounce that name, but a very pacey Colombian right winger has now moved into the La Liga, so quite a good option for your silver La Liga squads. And then we've got Charlie Austin. If you are someone that builds these sort of like strong link BPL, not silver, like green link, you know, strong English squads, then Charlie Austin has now moved from the Championship to the Premier League, of course scoring that winner against Manchester United at the weekend on his debut after coming on for a few minutes. That's quite a debut, I must admit. Now, I have included this next guy because I've used him before and I thought he was a real sort of gem of a player. A bit of a beast that not many people would try and use or even bother to. Because he's from Armenia, like there's not many Armenian players that you can link him to. But there's another good option for sort of a nice gold, low-rated gold striker in the MLS that you could partner with, I don't know, Giovinco or Obafemi Martins and people like that you could link up in the MLS, which is cool. And an exciting one moving into the Premier League, a lower-rated rare gold card, Amrabat Rabatt moves from the La Liga to Watford in the BPL. Now that is quite a cool card because he's 88 pace, 84 dribbling, and I've used him many times and he's a very, very good player. Exciting one for the BPL that. You could play him at cam, you could play him at striker, anything like that. I think this is one to watch if you're building them sweaty strike forces in the BPL. Next up, we've got Juillet, who has moved from Chelsea to Werder Bremen. Oh my god, don't tell me I'm saying Wolfsburg and Werder Bremen the wrong way round. I always get the badges mixed up, but he's gone to the Bundesliga, and of course I've got a different version of this item. I have got the FC Nantes, I think it is, in the French league, which is a very, very rare item, and nobody else has it, I don't think. So I've got one of those in my club, but he's now got 3 items. I could have 3 Juillet. I could have a Chelsea one, a Werder Bremen one, and also my Nonce one as well. That's Nance, not Nonce. Next up, we've got this silver stunner here, Marco Fabian. He is a silver Mexican that has moved to one of my favourite Bundesliga clubs, the only Bundesliga club I've ever gone to their stadium and watched a match. It is Eintracht Frankfurt. Those stats for a silver, definitely worth watching and picking up if you do use silver Bundesliga teams. Next up, we've got Corker. Now, this one's not going to make too much difference because he's already playing for a BPL squad in Southampton, so he won't make too much of a difference, but it does give another English option if you're building a Liverpool squad, of course, and he's got good pace, good defending, good physical for a low-rated gold card on the game. We've now got Collini coming back to Manchester City. This is not too rare because he already had the Man City card, then went on loan, and now he's back at Man City. So this is his current item in packs. A very good option. Look how crazy his stats are for a silver, and he's rare. That's a perfect link to Aguero as well, of course. Next up, I've picked this one up. It is Kelvin. I actually got him in a pack a few weeks ago on the 13th. Like a week or 10, 11, 12 days ago. I'm not sure when you're going to be watching this. But Kelvin, the 5-star Brazilian right winger, has moved back to Porto and now has some very, very good options in terms of linking up chemistry-wise. Exciting transfer, and I very much like him on the game. I've used him. I used this other card once before, but now I think I'm going to try and build a squad with this one, of course, with some Porto players. Now, if you ever watched my initial road to glory on FIFA 16, you know that I love the Schalke version of Kevin Prince Boateng, and he's got this exciting card back in the Serie A for AC Milan. Crazy. I love it. I picked him up like today because I wanted to try him out. So he could probably be featuring in a squad of mine in the very near future. Such a well-rounded player on this game. Very, very overpowered. And then we've got Atsu, who's moved from a left winger, so he's a position change as well as a transfer. Staying in the BPL, of course, but he's now back at Chelsea, and he's now a centre mid. So if you want a rapid 92 pace centre mid in your sweaty BPL team, Atsu's the guy you go for. Barbeau has sadly moved from the BPL to, I believe, the Colombian league, I think. So he's probably going to go up. His BPL one might go up a little bit in price because he's no longer packable for Watford. But yeah, it's a bit of a sad day to see a Barbeau go for any of you guys that like to use him. Second to last player here today is Claudio Bovu, who is a Frenchman who's moved from Lyon into the La Liga for Celta Vigo. I didn't know what that badge was, but he's a French option in the La Liga, so another hybrid option possibly. And then the final player is, of course, Dembele, who has moved back to Roma in the Serie A, so you can finally get that amazing strike force of, I guess, this Dembele and the informed Gervinho would be a perfect link. Rapid pace strike force. I hope no one builds a team like that because that's just dirty. Or should I build a team like that? I'm not sure. But yeah, those are the transfers that have happened so far that I think are the best on Ultimate Team. There's some real gems in there, so make sure you pick them up if you can spot them for a good price. Let me know again if you want to see another one of these in a couple of weeks' time when the transfer window's shut and other big transfers have been made, to let you guys know, in case you missed it, you know, if EA tweet or something and you don't see it, who has been moved to different clubs on FIFA 16. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel for more, and I will catch you next time. Peace.